Hey, so I've been going through a rough patch with my family recently. I have turned 18 last week, and my dad unfortunately thought it was the right time to kick me out. Now, my own mother passed away when I was 3 years old in an unfortunate accident. Since then, my dad has had a long list of girlfriends and failed relationships. Even as a kid, I'd literally never see him without a woman in the house. I had a nanny to look after me during the day when my dad would be at work, and whenever he would come back, his girlfriend at the time would be with him. He cut ties with my mother's family after her passing because he didn't see the point of keeping in touch with them, and I assumed they didn't want to remind her of the tragedy, so they didn't claim my custody to be able to visit me either. So, growing up, it was just me and my dad, but he never seemed very interested in being a father to me, and mostly spent his time either working or hanging with his girlfriend, whoever it happened to be. At the time, I tried really hard to get along with him as a kid, but I never received any love and affection from him, and he just did the bare minimum for me. So I gradually learned to expect nothing at all. And that was my childhood, lonely and kind of sad. But thankfully, I still had my grandfather to keep me company. Occasionally, he'd visit me often, and was pretty much the only family that I had. Unfortunately, he couldn't take me in because my father didn't want to give up my custody for some reason. And my father is just cold, but never cruel towards me. At least not when I was a kid, so I don't think my grandfather had enough legal reasons to try and take me away either. Sometimes he'd visit me, at other times I'd go to him. But my father made sure very carefully that I didn't end up spending more than maybe 3 or 4 days at his place in case I wanted to stay over for a while. My visits to my grandfather were regulated by my dad, and I still don't know why he was so finicky about it. But I don't know that for whatever reason my father wasn't willing to give up my custody. And even though he treated me coldly, he still wanted to keep me around, and it still doesn't make sense to me. As I got older, I began to rebel because I wanted to spend more time at my grandfather's place, as compared to my father. Obviously, it was because my grandfather showed me more love and affection, and actually seemed to care about me beyond just the basics. But my father wasn't willing to let me. And even when I brought up how my grandfather treated me infinitely better than he did, my father would still say that at the end of the day, he's my dad, and whatever he says goes. My grandfather tried to get my dad to treat me like his own kid several times, but nothing ever changed.